Hello, welcome to this weekly show, my top tips. Today, the discussions are around managing nervousness during presentations. You may have to make presentations internally, externally, in almost every role, whether you are a consultant or otherwise. This is based on a contributory article on LinkedIn, but I'll be focusing more towards my inputs or explanations of the same. The article is called How Can You Overcome Nervousness and Present with Confidence? If you would like to locate this on LinkedIn and look at other experts' inputs as well. The article talks about 5 points to manage nervousness during presentations. First one is knowing your audience, followed by preparations and practice. Managing stress, engaging your audience and engaging with your audience is my little twist or tweak to this. And the last point is called learn and improve, learning forever. So here are my top tips for managing nervousness during presentations, which may be internal or external, and in all roles that anyone may be playing. The first one is knowing your audience. This is very important. You should understand the background. What is the organization? What is the setting, their habits, and their culture? Within the room, or otherwise it may be a presentation in an auditorium or in a stadium. What is the seniority of the people who are sitting there, including their authority? Your gestures, motions, tone, etc. may vary little based on what is their seniority and authority. You should know who are those people who are sitting in front of you. You might have developed customer personas in your delivering excellence journey or delivering excellence program. Those will be very helpful in managing, controlling, overcoming nervousness while you are making presentations to your clients. What do they like and what do they not like? Important to know, important to understand. A lot of this is not readily available. You may have to find out, you may have to dig out. So you may like to get in touch with someone. And LinkedIn is a great place. For example, if you are going to make a presentation at Google, please look at the links, the connects that you have on LinkedIn from the company Google, and you may like to write to them, requesting them for some specific inputs. Venue matters. As I said, it may be a small meeting room, it may be a boardroom, it may be a large room, it may be auditorium or a stadium as well. So you'll have to prepare yourself according to that. That's why it's important to know. Duration matters a lot. Is it 15 minutes, half an hour, couple of hours, full day presentation? Your preparations will vary accordingly. If you're making use of any slides or paper, printed, soft copy, good to understand the audience's likes, dislikes about colors, fonts. So good to use a template, good to ask for a template. That's what I do always. If you have a template, please let me have it. And I ask that the first question, because if I've prepared my presentation half or full, and then someone says, use this template, Daman, it becomes a rework for me. And immediately the confidence level may start going down. So this is a good tip around that. If it's a follow-up meeting, if it's not a first meeting for you, you're making presentation as a follow-up, then what happened last time? What were the actions? What follow-ups were made? What progress has been made since then? Good to know all this. And that should actually be your starting point, maybe slide number 1 or 2 in your presentation. Even if you don't have to spend a lot of time on what happened last time, your confidence level goes up the moment you know what happened last time. Perhaps it was not a presentation made by you, it was made by someone else. So whether the comments were good, bad, or ugly, there is a learning for you. Second point is or was in the article, based on the article, prepare and practice. A lot of work needs to be done here. And I'll talk in 2 categories. You need to prepare yourself as well as the audience. We'll talk about both of these. So develop your presentation. And again, the deck, it may be a PowerPoint slide or any other platform could be used, any other package could be used. It may be hard copy also. And review it. First is self-read. You will be able to find some improvements. I don't say mistakes, and at the most I may say corrections or improvements, but never mistakes. So you write, you read, and you will find some improvements. Read in front of mirror. That's part of practice. And that has been said for long in different ways. Even if you want to go to movies, even if you want to do theater, drama, please speak in front of the mirror. Read in front of an ally, your friend. Also in front of an expert. F, you can find a critic. Read in front of a critic. There is a lot you are saying. How can I do this? So that's why preparation is important. You may not be able to have all 4, for example, but can you have 3? Can you have 2? You do only 1, you don't do any. That is not good job. Then the topic we are discussing is managing nervousness during presentations, and anyone can be nervous on a day. It may be new topic, new audience, new place, new country, new geography, new size. I have been delivering for 10 with 10, but now I see 100. Today I see, I won't mind even 1,000,000 sitting in front of me. But that was not on day 1. Someday there is always day 1 for every person. So preparation, a lot of preparation. Know the background, which was point 1 also I discussed. Organization, their habits, their culture. Within the preparation, next step would be to record. While you're speaking, we are presenting, assume that you're presenting in the room. You may be the only person in the room, record it and watch the recording once again. As human beings, we do not realize what did we do. There has to be someone who may be pointing. People observe but may not speak, and especially in the final presentation, they will not be telling Daman, there is something wrong here. Daman, why did you do this? But they will just make impressions based on that. Looking at their expressions, you may be nervous. Hence, record before the final day and watch it. You will be able to find some improvements in your speech, in your speed, in your delivery, in your gestures, body language. All is important during presentation. Support your presentation with facts. And sometimes today, because there's a lot available, we have a tendency of collecting a lot. Please present only what is relevant and according to the duration of the meeting or presentation available to you. Using visuals is good. That attracts attention, helps in holding the audience with you. There is no rule about it, but you'll have to make a balancing act, which comes with with experience only. Add use animation, but a lot of animation is a distraction also. So that's what I'm repeating. A combination of these are right combination of these for which there is no rule. And for that reason, you do it, watch it yourself, show it to someone else who may be able to give you some input. The moment there are too many visuals, the moment there's a lot of data, you do not have that much time available. The moment this animation actually is not helping but taking the attention away. So reduce animation or maybe even remove animation. So all this is part of preparation and preparing yourself. But at the same time, for a successful meeting, successful presentation, or to keep your confidence level high and nervousness low, you must prepare the audience also. This is very important point, for which this is what you can do. Set the rules, objectives, outcomes, which most likely are written in the agenda, which you must share in advance with your audience. There is a possibility that you have a lot of data available, but you cannot present, you do not want to present all during the presentation, during the meeting. It's good to provide that as a supporting material. It may be full report, but presentation is about the summary of the report. You're not reading a report in the presentation session. So a report could have been sent to your audience in advance with expectation that they would have read it or they would read it in more. Seek questions in advance, and for that reason, sharing that report, the supporting material in advance is good. If someone reads it, he or she will have good, valid questions for you. If someone asks such good, valid questions during your presentation, you have won the hearts once again. Third point is managing stress, and anyone can be stressed. Stress cannot be avoided, just like risk, but can be managed for sure. And that also I'll talk about two ways, two types: stress before the presentation and stress during the presentation. So I have some top tips, my top tips for that also. Eat well, sleep well, and prepare well. So all that I have talked so far in preparation is part of managing your stress also. If you manage stress, you will manage your nervousness also. Meditation and yoga or any other practice helps, please do that. And this is all during the period which is before presentation. During presentation, what could you do to manage your stress? That follow first rules, that is, know your audience and prepare and practice. You will be less stressed. Go slow. Do not rush. And when we say this, knowing your audience, if assume English is not their primary language, then especially it's good to go slow and keep looking at the reactions as well. Pay attention to your audience. You may be able to find some supporters. Assume you have presented a point and someone nods like this or with a smile, maybe a thumb also, maybe tap of the table. Please pay attention to these people. They are your allies. And sometimes in between, then you may like to utilize them. For example, present next point and look at that person, eye to eye. I hope you agree with me. Do you agree with me? Am I right? Do you see this? Something like that. So even if it was from the client side, from the audience, not necessarily from your organization, but during presentation, you have won an ally. So look at your audience. Good communication skills, it's always said, maintain eye contact. Keep looking at them. Study and use body language. So you must study body language and then use those gestures, postures. Good if it's a physical meeting, physical presentation, because then you have your full body to make use of. Online sessions are difficult that way, I would like to say, because your face only is available, visible, perhaps up to chest, not more than that. You keep moving your hands. As of now, I'm moving my hands, but those are not visible to you. I will have to make special effort to bring my hands into focus. But if it's physical presentation, in a room presentation, your full body is available, then make use of full body, including your hips, butts, waist, legs, feet as well. Use pauses. And again, looking at the responses, reactions. You will be able to find such people, some people, as I said, like anyone who nods. Also, if anyone raises eyebrows or doesn't appear to be happy, doesn't appear to be agreeing with your views, it's good to take a pause and specifically pay attention to that person. And then to get support to your point, once again, look at that person who was happy, who had given you thumb up or a tap on the table. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. It helps. In long presentations, it's good to plan good breaks also for tea, snacks, coffee, lunch, etc. And after each break, you may lose your audience. Again, especially if someone moves out of the room due to any reason, it may be bio break he or she wants to take, or otherwise the tea, for example, has been arranged outside the meeting room. Even if tea is served in the meeting room, there is a loss of attention. There's break in communication that you had maintained. So using an icebreaker. Again, there needs to be many in your pocket. That's why preparation is important. Use props. It could be as simple as your pen. You always have that in your pocket. It may be keys. It may be your wallet. It may be even your glasses. Sometimes it's good to do all this. Piece of paper. Maybe nothing written on that. You only know that. But attempt to take it out. Use props. Very helpful in gaining, maintaining the attention of the audience. And the moment you have attention, your confidence level goes up and your nervousness goes down. If you can have a co-presenter, if you can have, then that's very good. Though known allies, I discussed earlier, someone who becomes your ally from the audience during your presentation, during your talk, but you could have some allies implanted. Those could be your colleagues from your organization. Next topic is called engage your audience. I will say engage your audience and engage with your audience, and some topics for that. Start with a hook, some story. Storytelling is an art which can be learned and mastered through practice. Please do that. Use dipstick surveys, quick one. Without any tools, maybe raise your hands. That's it. Simple. Make them move their heads, legs, hands, etc. Practice vocal variety. And for that, once again, if you sing, even if you don't sing, do some practice at least. Take some lessons at least. Or theater, the modulation of your voice. You are not getting angered, but you raise your voice all of a sudden if you start seeing that people are sleeping in the meeting during your presentation. And once again, some props or some actions. If you see some people are saying, tap on the table, this is what I was saying. See, do you agree with me? This is where we were. Something like that. Use full body, not just the tongue. This is linked with the previous point that I discussed, especially during physical meeting. You need to practice a lot because you have a lot available to you as a tool. Full body is available. Make use of that. Illustrate your points and make them memorable by using what? Humor. If you can add a little touch of that. Anecdotes. In my VCM consulting, I have been using an example that when we take our vehicle to the garage for maintenance, they do two very important activities, which is wheel balancing and wheel alignment. Bring this example to the organization. I tell my audience that the organization is a monster truck with 20 giant wheels which need to be kept in alignment with the one goal that the company has, the objectives, the purpose, values, vision, mission of the company. All 20 departments, units need to work towards the same. That they need to be in alignment. This is how I explain the concept. Then quotes and examples, if you can pick up either from great leaders, which may be in any category. Those may be from business and those may be from politics, or those may be from other fields also. Attempt to give some analogies and ask open-ended questions. We have been saying this for ages. But the struggle is that we do not understand, or we are not able to understand. We need to practice this also. What are open-ended questions? So in some other session, I will be happy to share a list of about 25 open-ended questions I have prepared. So there is a close-end question and its equivalent open-ended question, so that we practice. There are only 25, I'm saying. In the life, we may have to use 2,500, 25,000, but at least starting point is available to practice and ask for feedback, and ask for feedback from all people that are available to you. Acknowledge comments, any comments coming during the meeting, during your presentation. It may be just nod, it may be just eye contact, it may be thumbs up also, it may be thank you very much as well. The last point in the discussion is learning and improving. According to the article, it says learn and improve because no one is perfect in this world. That's a fact, which means I can always keep improving. So keep doing, keep learning, and keep improving. Learning and sharing is forever, according to me, and I am a lifelong learner myself. Seek feedback, which was the last point in the previous slide, also on the previous slide as well, from your audience, peers, critics, very important, from the critics as well, allies, mentors. Find a guide, a mentor for yourself. And there's no age to that as well, that I am experienced. I have 4 decades in the industry, nearing 60s now, that I don't need. Everyone needs mentors. So find those, use them, and seek feedback about your presentation from them also. Watch a recording of your presentation if it's available. Very important. It's almost investing another hour into that, but you will be able to find many improvements, which may not be only in your speech, which may not be only in your presentation, the slide deck, etc., that you would have used, the visuals, the text, but looking at the reactions of the people during presentation. Perhaps you didn't notice. Now, while you're watching the recording, you're not looking at yourself only, you're looking at your audience also, their gestures, and those are very important inputs. You will be able to find out that this person seems to be interested, I must utilize in the next presentation also. Or that person was not so much interested, I must find out his or her reasons and then attempt to focus on those as well. So this last one is showing those points once again. To manage 5 steps to manage nervousness during presentation: know your audience, prepare and practice, manage your stress, engage your audience and engage with your audience. I did both. And learn and improve. With this, I would like to stop. This was the weekly show, my weekly show, my top tips. Today, we talked about, in episode 23, we talked about managing nervousness during presentations. If you have any questions about this topic or about resilience as a whole, please feel free to write to me. I'll be happy to respond back. Once again, thank you very much. My weekly show, my top tips, every Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. IST, and I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Thanks. Bye-bye. Have a great day.